Welcome, guys, to another episode. All right, so we're gonna be talking about some interesting stuff today. So it's your first time, just do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the sub button. We're gonna go ahead and dive into it. So think about it. Now, if you're watching this and you're probably in a position where, because the caption and the thumbnails is kind of fire, but if you're in a position right now and you're thinking, you're like, okay, so you know what, like the internet is going crazy. Like the other day, I was talking to someone about artificial intelligence and how like AI, like the adaptation of AI. And he's like, dude, do you know there's like AI romance chatbots? And I was like, what do you mean AI romance? He's like, yeah, there's actually dudes out there that are literally like having robot girlfriends. And I'm like, to me, it's kind of crazy because if he's telling me like someone can have a robot girlfriend, I'm like, I think in the world in the next 2030, 2035, 2040, like the robot in dating industry is probably going to be a $1 trillion industry because I mean then again we all know based on a few videos I did a few weeks back there's a lot of lonely dudes out there and hey if AI you could get an AI girlfriend and stuff that hey, to each his own. But I'm like, that's not for me. But so what's interesting was like, so one of the things I'm going to be talking about to you guys, I'm going to be talking to you guys about how you can kind of use it. If, like, let's say you're somebody who does not like creating content. Let's say you're somebody who does not like doing anything that has to do with you on camera. You're kind of camera shy. You get kind of a little weird. You're like, I don't want to talk. People are judging me. Guess what? I'm going to show you guys a tool. We're going to see how you can actually use an AI tool, an AI generative tool to basically be able to clone your likeness online, which is insane if you ask me. Like it's very insane. And we're gonna go ahead and take another video here. And then after that, we're gonna be talking about a few other things as far as like AI is literally it's crazy, like how it's even taken orders. Like AI is like working in fast food restaurants. Listen, you ain't ready for this. You are not ready for this, but let's go ahead and dive into this. So this is an AI. This I found this on TikTok. This is an AI bikini model. Okay, so we're gonna listen to an AI bikini model, and
I'm doing a summer bikini haul this morning with Very Beachy swimwear. This is actually the first look, and this color is almost like a
Guys, this is not a real person. She's what's known as a virtual influencer and model. And there are tons of these people, 100,000 followers. They even have fake virtual friends. And they get comments like they are real people. The technology behind this is some sort of generative machine learning AI to create photorealistic artificial bodies, faces, and voices automatically, and so-called deep fake technology to substitute the face and or bodies of anyone in a video. So what does this mean? Currently, the US influencer marketing spend is going up year over year, up to $7.14 billion in 2024. But I have a feeling that's going to drop right off a cliff. I think this is going to be a dying profession, along with admins, lawyers, architects, and engineers. And acting. This is why they're on strike. Studios want to scan the bodies of actors and then use their likeness in perpetuity. People usually either say that AI is going to save humanity with its infinite brain power, like being able to cure cancer, or it's going to go rogue and kill everybody. But I think the more banal and most likely scenario is that AI is just going to make us all serfs begging for scraps from our corporate overlords.
I think we're probably we're going into. I don't know if you guys have seen the movie. What's the movie in Terminator? You'd be surprised. A lot of people haven't seen Terminator, and I'm like, whoa, like how are you an adult and haven't seen Terminator? If you haven't seen Terminator, then I can't talk to you. Right? I can't we just can't relate. We just can't. But what's interesting is so what it's saying is kind of insane because if you look at the corporate adaptation of AI, if you look at AI, Snapchat AI, you have AI and everything. Everything now is AI. I did a few videos on AI, and let me tell you something, guys. I've been on the internet for probably about 3 years now that I've been making content, and the one videos that I can tell you right now that makes my phone like blow up with calls, like people are like, "Hey, I saw your video on this. Hey, I want to talk to you on this." Is the AI videos like anytime I talk about AI, my phone rings. So it's kind of insane. But what I'm going to be showing you guys right now is now this is a new software. This is kind of a new tool that I'm kind of implementing. But remember, in the beginning, I told you guys how you can be able to use AI to basically be able to clone your likeness, clone all that stuff. So the tool we're going to be talking about today, guys, is a tool called HeyGen. So you can go ahead and go to HeyGen. I believe it's HeyGen. HeyGen. Let me find the link. App.heygen. You can go to heygen.com or app.heygen, and you can go ahead and pretty much have access to the tool, right? So Now, I'm actually in the process of cloning myself, guys. So since I'm in the process of cloning myself to be able to see how it does it, I don't really have a working Hey Gen stuff, but I'll do another video in the future, kind of talking about it. But let's look at this, right? So remember the problem that most people were having with AI, where they were like, "Well, it seemed too robotic. Like it seemed like it seemed too unnatural because the way the product, the way it worked was like you'd have like weird movements, like man, you'd be like." Welcome to this Upton, blah blah blah. People are like, what am I watching? So you could tell, but imagine if you're in a position now where you can't even tell that it's AI, you can't even tell it's AI, you can't tell that you it actually sounds and looks like a real person, right? But you can change the voice as well. So the only downside with cloning yourself is it's about, I think it's $300 for the year annually, which is not actually that expensive if you ask me. So it's $300 for the year, but the downside is to create the videos you actually have to pay for credits, right? So you actually have to pay for credits, but let's look at one. Let's look at one of the AI. So this is, so look at the body movement here. This is in 4K resolution. Okay. And I'm gonna play this right now. I want you guys to look at the body movement here.
Welcome to the new era of video creation with HeyGen. Simply type your script to
So
get
so
started.
you look at the interesting thing about it is this is you look at the fact that the body it's actually moving its hands. Like it's actually moving its hands. It actually is like moving its body. Like you can see, like look at this one here. Edward in a black suit.
Welcome to the new era of video creation with HeyGen.
Now the thing is, if you can, because there's a way in which you can, like I said, you just follow the prompt and you can create your own avatar where you can actually be showing like keep your shoulders down, but like moving your body for the most part, and you can use it for courses, you can use it to create courses, you can use it to do ads. I'm gonna be trying it out. So and like I said, guys, once I try it out, I'm actually gonna see if I can do this. Interesting thing is, I'm gonna see if I can do an AI hosted YouTube podcast, right? Where you guys are literally watching the AI, but you don't even know it's AI because it's like it's super cool. But that's kind of one thing I'm trying to look at right now for the most part. But you could see how you could use any one of these avatars. If you don't want to clone your own avatar, you can use one of these avatars for an ad. I recommend you clone your avatar. If anything, this is what I would recommend, right? I'd recommend that you clone your avatar, you use your own self, because then again, if you're using it for like lead generation purposes, or you're using it for like marketing purposes, or let's say using it to even send pictures to your girlfriend and your wife, right, or husband or partner, whatever it is, you could just clone yourself and be like, hey, listen, sending, hey, how's it going, hey, whatever it is, right? I don't know, it's kind of fun, it's kind of hilarious, but also kind of keep it PG-13, guys. Don't go crazy with it, because people always kind of have a tendency to overdo stuff, right? People have a tendency to make things weird. Don't be weird. Don't be weird. Please don't be weird. It's kind of weird. Don't be weird, right? But yeah, so you kind of have like they have like you can create various video trainings. You can create. They have templates, right? So you have templates here where you can use. You can create something like, let's say you wanted to create like a something for, like, you wanted to create like a reel, you can create a reel for that. You can use one of the templates, where you use your own avatar and you like doing a presentation of like, you know you add whatever it is that you want to add, and then you can use this for like an ad and all that good stuff. So if that's something that you kind of wanted to do, you could do it. You could do like a breaking news, you could do all that stuff, right? But this is not as crazy as video we watch, because honestly, if I'm honest with you, I honestly don't know how to be able to do what the AI influencer lady is doing. I believe there's some back end work that's going, and I don't think you're using it's not an available software. I think someone actually like created a back end. It's something where you actually have to have the platform already ready, and I don't think it's public access to be able to do that. But I'm actually doing some digging to find out, because I think that is super realistic. If you're able to do something like that, I mean the this just the the use case, you can use it anywhere. I mean, you could it's like it's insane, right? It's insane. But if that product is available to the market, whoever creates that product would be rich overnight. I think rich if that was actually available to the public, right? But that's kind of the whole thing. So you guys can go check HeyGen out. I believe it's heygen.com. So HeyGen.com. You can go ahead and kind of check them out, right? But as we kind of dive a little deeper, this is another video I kind of found, which is kind of crazy. But this video is basically a AI taking an order, right? This is
I don't want to drink.
Would that be all for you?
Yes, that'll be all.
Thank you. I'm finalizing your order and getting your total.
so just
But AI
so
take
that's the thing. And oh, which is also kind of crazy is What's also kind of crazy is like, all right, we're listening to that right now, and you're like, yeah, it sounds like a robot. But if I'm running a business, right? Because you guys know the average most franchises don't make money in the first 3 to 4 years, right? Because the spend to get in, like let's say that's a McDonald's, right? Or let's say that's a Starbucks, whatever it is. There's not that much money that's being made in the beginning, right? The most businesses are not making money. But then if you're looking at it from a standpoint, this is how I'm looking at it. You start up your business and imagine you have a completely AI run business where, like McDonald's, they already have the automated business, they already have the automated store. We have an AI completely run, AI completely done, AI completely operated business where AI talks to your customer, AI produces customer service, AI basically, what do you call it? Takes the order. After AI takes the order, and then boom, AI just goes ahead and basically slide right in, give them the order, and boom, ready to go. Everyone is going out, and you're like, ah. That would be very, very, very cost efficient. I'm just telling you, that'd be very cost efficient. If I'm looking at it from my standpoint, I'd be like, yeah, that's actually very, very cost efficient, right? So one of the things is to all right. So you're thinking about it, right? Hey, Emmanuel, I don't have a what you call this stuff? I don't have a franchise, right? I don't have a franchise. I don't have like people coming up and ordering. But let's say you're like a traditional business owner. You're like, hey, you know what? I want to be able to have an AI that basically books calls for me. I want to be able to have an AI that basically talks to my customers. I want to have an AI that basically helps me um, get more people on my calendar or even make sales or book appointments, whatever it is. That's an AI tool, guys. And we're going to be talking about that tool here. That tool, I'm not going to really do a demo of it because it's not, actually, you know what? Let's do a demo of it. So it's called chat.air.ai. So it's called chat.air.ai. You go to air.ai and you basically would have the ability to basically kind of play around with this tool, right? But what I'm going to be doing, all right, you guys have pretty much seen it in the past. I've spoken about it in the past. But I'm actually gonna be going ahead and testing it live. Now, I'm just gonna give you guys a few heads up. So it's a little bit of a work in order. So in the sense it's still in beta. The company is still kind of working on basically improving a few things on there. But if you kind of dive into air.ai, no, that's not the one I want to use. I want to use a different, but you just go ahead and create like an AI agent, right? And once you create your AI agent, you can be able to use the AI agent for like anything that you wanted to do, basically. So if we kind of come up here to book guests for podcasts, so let's say I'm actually gonna have it call me, and then you guys can kind of listen to that. So I'll leave my number on here. I've been also, guys. A lot of people reach out to me from various companies like, hey, Emmanuel, I want to kind of set this up. I'm actually, yeah. If you guys want to reach out to me, feel free to. I do, like I'll give you like a free tutorial, kind of free consultation of like what to do. Obviously, just kind of give you setup, and then anything else, obviously outside of that, will be kind of paid. It's up to you if you want to do it or not. um, just for the time, basically. 752, but that's my number in there. Let's go ahead and give it a call. And we'll go ahead and test this AI, kind of like take an order. I didn't really plan to do this. I was just like, you know what? Hey, what the heck? Let's do it. Let's go ahead and see how this performs. So we'll go ahead and see here. Just make sure I don't have do not disturb on. Hey, this is Emmanuel. How can I help you?
Hey, Emmanuel. This is Alexander from Evolution Podcast. I'm giving you a call because it seems like you opted into one of our ads to join our live webinar. Do you remember that?
No, I don't.
No problem, Emmanuel. It's possible that there might have been a mix-up or you might have been interested in something else.
Okay.
Great. I appreciate your time, Emmanuel. By the way, a few people have told me that the audio is a bit laggy today, so if I cut you off or if there's like a bit of a delay, I apologize for that in advance. But yeah, anyways, I'm curious, what got you excited about Evolution Podcast?
I don't remember doing it. I don't remember filling it out.
No worries, Emmanuel. Sometimes these things happen. It's possible that there might have been a mistake or someone else might have used your information. But hey, since we're already on the call, let's make the most of it. Can you tell me a bit about your interest in podcasts in general? Do you listen to any specific genres or have any favorite shows?
Favorite shows? Yeah, I do. I listen to the Joe Rogan podcast.
Oh, that's awesome, Emmanuel. I'm glad to hear that you enjoy podcasts. The drawer we're going to talk at sounds interesting. Can you tell me more about what you like about that show? What keeps you coming back for more episodes?
Dude just says it as it is.
Ah, got it. So the drawer we're going to talk at is more of a straightforward and honest podcast. I can see how that can be appealing. Sometimes simplicity and authenticity are what we need in a podcast. Now, let's fast forward to the future. Imagine it's 12 months from now and you've been regularly attending our webinars. How do you think that experience would enhance your podcast listening journey?
I'm not interested, ma'am. Thank you. I'm not interested in whatever it is you're selling.
I completely understand, Emmanuel. I appreciate your honesty. Before we end the call, can I just ask you one quick question?
Sure.
It won't take much of your time.
Okay.
Thank you, Emmanuel. I appreciate your willingness to answer one more question. Can you share with me what specifically made you lose interest in what we're offering? I want to make sure I understand your perspective.
Yeah, I mean it's just fun, but I'm not really like too into podcasts like that.
Ah, I see what you mean. So you prefer podcasts that are longer and more in-depth rather than shorter ones. That's totally understandable. Different people have different preferences when it comes to podcast length. Thanks for sharing that with me. Is there anything else you'd like to add or any other concerns you have?
No, that's it. Just want to get off this call.
I understand, Emmanuel. I appreciate your time and honesty. Before we end the call, I just want to let you know that we have some upcoming webinars that might align better with your preferences. If you ever change your mind or want to explore more in the future, feel free to reach out. Have a great day.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Emmanuel. Take care and have a wonderful day ahead. Goodbye.
Okay, so it obviously didn't book me. I wasn't trying to get it booked because I've done one where it booked me. I'm trying to do one where it basically, because a lot of people kind of look at it from a perspective of what would it do when someone is not interested, right? What would it do when someone is like, you can tell from the tonality, it's not really like trying to do anything. It just moves on, right? It's not, it doesn't book interested people. There's also a few things that a lot of people have reached out to me and like, hey, it doesn't, like it's words, like it, like I said, the Joe Rogan podcast, and I said the Ro something podcast. It doesn't say those things properly. The audio is still a little bit laggy because of the processing time. There's a few things that obviously I'm bringing on to the founders to kind of talk to them about it. But that's a tool called Air.ai. I'll put the links in the description to this video here to Air.ai and then Hey Gen. Should be in the description. If it's not, just go to Air.ai and you'll be able to kind of sign up for them. They have a free. You sign up, and then I think the only caveat to it is like it's 27 cents per minute for a call. So that's the thing. And also just kind of it's in the beta phase, as you know, guys. Technology like this already exists, but as far as accessible to the public, it's just not that accessible to the public, right? So there's kind of a few things to basically take into account, right? So as we kind of dive in here, guys, which is interesting. So as you guys know, I've showed you tools in which you can kind of do your own conversational AI. You could use it, the only also another caveat to Air.ai is you cannot customize it with your own voice. I wish they could come up with something where it would clone my voice and then literally have a call my voice. That would be insane, but I'm pretty sure that's probably something in the future. So you can kind of implement conversational AI in your business or whatever it is that you're doing for the most part. But let's kind of look at something here which is kind of a little interesting if you ask me. Is I'm trying to look at like the adaptations of AI, like how people are adapting AI into their businesses, how people are adapting AI into their basically just in general. And if we kind of dive in here into conversation AI, so the virtual system market, so it's basically heading for about the growth rate is crazy. You have pretty much basically conversation AI, which is exactly what you just saw, will be a $18.6 billion market in 2023, which is right now, and an increase of 16.2% from 2022. Because this technology is kind of crazy. It's getting it out there. It's the market cap on it is just it's insane because you had ChatGPT come out and most people are like, dude, ChatGPT revolutionized the way. I mean, almost everybody saw the world. ChatGPT revolutionized the way pretty much anybody for the most part basically interacted for the most part because now write a book with ChatGPT. You could write content with ChatGPT. You could tweet with ChatGPT. There's so many insane things that are out there that you could do that you can use AI for, right? So as we kind of dive a little bit deeper, that guys. So I'm not gonna dive into that article because it's a little bit longer. Might come back to it, but this is a funny one. I saw this video on TikTok, so this is a kind of a crazy one. So AI, this is just a kind of preface. So you know how people you can kind of get away when you have a business. Let's say you have a car dealership, you have a sales rep, or you have you have multiple people that work in your doctor's office or whatever it may be, right? So just kind of imagine it's just kind of crazy. Imagine that you have an AI that can track the productivity of people that are working because we all know that there's if you have 10 people working, 2 to 3 of the people are doing the most work, and then you have everybody else just kind of doing things to kind of just blend in and kind of survive. But this is insane, and I want you guys to kind of we're gonna take a look at this one. So let me see if I can find that video. I'm gonna see if I can find that video here because it's kind of crazy here if to take a look at it. But the video is AI is watching you. So let's kind of take a listen. Let's take a listen to this. So let's go ahead now. So this is just to kind of give you guys some context here. Let's pause this here. So it's to give some context. So it's showing you basically you have. I'm gonna start this from the top here real quick so you guys can see it. So start up from the top. So if you're watching this on Spotify later, which some people do watch this on Spotify later, the video we're kind of showing right now is just basically you have basically here it basically tracks how long a customer stayed. So if you look on the green side, what it's showing here is basically showing the amount of time a customer stayed. So you had someone who stayed for 5 minutes right here. So you had 5 minutes, someone who stayed for 5 minutes right here. Let me see if this works. No, it doesn't work. So you have someone who stayed for 5 minutes. You have someone who stayed for 15 minutes. You have someone who stayed for 25 minutes. You have 2 minutes, and then you have this couple here or this people here. They've stayed for an hour and 15 minutes. So it tells you how long people are staying. So you can say, okay, you know what? If my customers are only staying in my shop for 15 minutes, then how do I get them to stay longer, right? And then it also is showing you here people who are basically working new staff on the other side. So you have Anna who's making 20 cups. Anna is working hard, and then we play this. You got Anna, you got Alina, and then you got Olga. Olga's only made about 3 cups. So you kind of see this, and you kind of like it's kind of insane when you look at it. To one person's working the most, and you have other people just kind of like working off the back of the other person, right? So that's kind of like what that video is showing is. So just that on its own is kind of crazy when you look at it to the fact as to AI has that much effect that it's actually like it has the ability to track you, it has the ability to watch you. And I think let me see if I can find this tweet. There was a tweet here where AI was basically trolling. It was trolling politicians. Like it was literally like I can't say what is it trolling? It's trolling. Yeah, yeah, it's trolling. So this is on Twitter. Let me see if I can pull this up here. But AI was trolling politicians. So it was literally which is just kind of crazy. So, but it was trolling politicians. Let me see if I can find this here. This is on Twitter, guys. So all right, there you go. I found it. Boom. I found it. Let's go ahead and kind of pull this up on the board here. So we have here AI was basically trolling politicians. So here you go. So it's basically showing if we let's zoom this here a little bit so we can see it. So it's showing here that I don't remember what I think this is parliament. That parliament. This is parliament. So it's showing here whoever this is. So it's identifying who the person is, showing how long they're staying on the phone, 51.9%. And then you have this person here, 67%. It's literally just showing how much time people are spending on their phones. And you got this guy here who's been on the phone for, you know, 85. I think it's like it's showing 85% of the time, or I think here this is the tracking, which I'm thinking, if I'm not mistaken, I think this is the way it's seeing all of this is I think it's tracking based off of because it's like at zu dot underscore d. I think it's tracking and identifying them based off of your social media platforms, which is kind of crazy if you ask me, because I'm curious if that's actually what it is because it's at WBBEKE. Let me see if that's a Twitter. I'm gonna see if that's a Twitter handle, because if that's a Twitter handle, that's crazy. That is genuinely crazy. So if it's a Twitter handle, that's genuinely crazy. Because just imagine if AI can basically be tracking you based off of, let me see, at what's the dude's name? BEKE. Okay. BEKE. Let me see if that's a Twitter handle. Yeah, I think it's a Twitter handle. No way. It is a Twitter handle. You got it. Is it? Let me see if it's the same guy. Yeah, it's the same guy. That's crazy. Look at this, guys. Look at this. It's literally tracking them based off of their Twitter. So based off of if you have like a Twitter, let me see the other guy, the other person, whatever the person is. So it's like, okay, so whoever it is here, so it's able to identify you based off of your Twitter. So it says it's a 51.9% match, and then it's showing that you're spending 85.5% on your phone. That is insane. That's insane if you ask me. So like, all right, let me see this one at ZU underscore DEMIR at ZU so at ZU underscore DEMIR. Nah, that's not it. Is it? Is it? Was it? Was it? Who was that person? A zoo? Yeah. Oh my God. What? Yep. Yep. Okay. So whoever this person is here, so we're gonna look at this person here at ZU underscore DMIR, and I found her on Twitter. It's a Twitter handle right here at ZU underscore DMIR. I think this is. I don't remember what language this is. This is like let me translate. This is Belgium, maybe. Yeah, Flemish Minister of Justice and Enforcement. Literally, it's going off of their Twitters, and then I guess if it's not seen, if it's not painting you on there, then you don't have a Twitter. That is crazy. Because just kind of this is how I'm thinking about it, right? Just imagine this. Imagine if someone can literally, there's a camera that's watching you, and it can base off of your social media, it can track your device. That's crazy if you ask me. It's crazy if you ask me because I think we're headed towards a world where, AI is gonna be yeah, I don't think people are gonna be as free as they think they are anymore. But so here you got this, so which is interesting. So I'm kind of looking at the poll here as to how many people were kind of like worried and concerned about AI and how AI can, the impact of AI in general. So let's get this here real quick. So here, so it says so there was a I can't say it's a Reuters um, I think it's a Reuters poll. It's a Reuters slash Ipsos poll of 44,415 US adults. 61% said they believe that AI could threaten the future of civilization. I mean, guys, we just literally saw it. I don't want to sound negative because I know it sounds negative. This makes me sound like a negative person. I'm not negative. I'm just kind of saying it as to we kind of look at it from the perspective of it's not that the AI is going to be negative, it's the use case of what people are going to use it for. It's like people are going to use AI not for the betterment of society and the betterment of humanity. They're probably going to use AI for like really, really bad stuff, right? But if we kind of zoom in here, so this is the Reuters poll of for 4,415 U.S. adults. 61% say they believe that AI could threaten the future of civilization, and more than two-thirds are worried about artificial intelligence negative consequences. The poll found that three times as many people foresee adverse outcomes from AI. And then those are not. So in April 3rd, YouGov poll, almost 70% of respondents endorsed a 6-month pause on some kind of AI development. So people are kind of getting a little worried. I mean, you kind of seen into the fact that the AI is coming in, it's doing crazy things. And I'm just looking at it from perspective of okay, so we can look at it from two ways, right? So we're gonna be wrapping up here a little bit, yeah, guys. This guys know it's a solo podcast. The solo podcasts are shorter than when I do when I have guests on. So what's interesting is I'm kind of looking at it from a perspective of this is financially, yes, it's good because if you can be able to use AI to increase your productivity by 20 to 30%, and you can reduce your cost by 60%, I mean, it's insane. It's absolutely insane because you have AI video editors, you have AI stuff, you have if imagine now you have an AI call center, you have AI sales rep, you can literally just cut your entire cost in like half, right? Which is crazy. But now you kind of look at it from that perspective, right? You're like, okay, AI is coming in, it's financially improving my life, it is increasing my productivity. But then what about those people that are out there that are using it for bad? Because not everybody's positive, not everybody's good, not everybody in this world is like has anyone's best interest at heart. Not everybody's like genuinely likes the world. And then there's a lot of people out there that are doing negative and doing bad stuff with it. So it's kind of crazy because AI is an amplifier. If you have a successful business, it amplifies you and makes your business more successful. If you have bad intentions, it makes your bad intentions more of a reality, right? So I definitely think that there needs to be a check kind of like on how AI has been implemented. But obviously for now, in a business perspective, go crazy with it. Use as much as you can. But I think personally there needs to be a check on it. Let me know what you guys think in the in the comment section. Feel free to drop a comment on there. If this is, you can go ahead and leave it in chat and let me know, hey, you know what, this is I think AI is gonna, is gonna go we're done. That's it. But that's pretty much it, guys. That's pretty much what I have for you guys for today. Don't forget to like, don't forget to sub. And if you believe this video is of value to anybody, definitely go ahead and share the content. And that is the most part what I have for everyone today. And I should have some more guests. I think I'm having a guest on, if I'm not mistaken, I think tomorrow. Tomorrow, no, not tomorrow. Tomorrow, yeah. Having a guest on, and then we're gonna be having, yeah, like I said, guys, we're there's a walk, there's a few things on the works in the next few months, guys. There's gonna be, it shouldn't be more like because right now I'm on the road doing this, so like when I'm traveling, I have a very. I'm gonna see if I can have a I'm gonna see if I can have a what do you call it? Uh, I'll show you guys like a behind the scene, but this is like a on the road setup. Two lights here, one of my cameras, and a few other things. And I'm basically doing like an impromptu setup because I'm like, hey guys, I told you guys every day we're gonna drop content. So that's pretty much what I have for you guys for now. So don't forget to like, sub, and I'll see everybody on a future pod.